Joe is with us in Indianapolis. Hey, Joe, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. How are you, sir?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, in the last couple of years, my wife and I have gotten really on board with your program. We've paid off about $50,000 in debt. We've refinanced to a 15-year and have about $20,000 in our emergency fund. And my question is, we're getting ready to start step 4, and my wife's job is pretty much sucking the life out of her, and we're looking at trying to do something else. And should we start doing the 15% into retirement, or should we just start stockpiling away to try to prepare for a job? Because our income's about $118,000, and hers is about 75 of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What would be the chances of her landing a job that she went to? Are you talking about her quitting permanently?
She wants to work. She doesn't want to be a stay-at-home mom. She wants to work, so it'd be finding a different job.
So why not look for that while she's still working there?
Oh, we have been, and it's been kind of tough to find anything right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, what if you take 6 or 8 months off because it's tough to find something? That wouldn't be good. We've weighed, how much, we have to last, and we don't want to eat away our emergency fund because she's not happy. So she's going to stick it out as long as she can, but we're, trying to decide if we put off investing into retirement because we're both in our early 30s, and, we know we need to tackle that pretty quick. So you have $20,000 in your emergency fund. You make $118,000. How much is your house payment? $1,500 a month.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I might stop my retirement for a few months, maybe 6 months, and let's see where we are while we make a job transition. Yeah, that might not be the end of the world. You could make it up by dropping it over into a Roth IRA, even if you didn't later, even if you didn't, if you got behind on the 401k and couldn't catch up, you could still step back in and do some Roths and catch up, right?
Yes.
So, I think another $10,000 laying around wouldn't make me mad.
Okay, yeah, that's where we stand, and we're just trying to figure out what the next step is to move forward.
Yeah, what's the nature? What kind of problems are at her job?
Stress.
Due to what?
Due to time that she's there and commute time, and the fact that we have 2 kids under 3 and under, and just not being home.
Well, the kids 3 and under aren't going to change.
Yeah, we know that, but we'd like for her to be home a little more for the kids.
Okay, so what time does she go in? What time does she come home?
It varies. A lot of days she'll go in around 9 o'clock. She has about an hour commute. She'll go in around 9 o'clock and may not get home until 7 or 8, and usually the kids are in bed around 8:30.
So she's working 10-hour days, 11-hour days?
Every day.
Okay. What would happen if she sat with her supervisors and said, I'm going to have to go home on time?
She is the head of her facility, and she's talked to her superior, and her response is your salary to be there as long as you need to be there.
Yeah. So the facility closes down if she's not there? What happens if she goes home early?
Then everything piles up, and she, her boss kind of looks down on it, and my wife is a perfectionist when it comes to work, so...
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to start working on cutting my hours back. Let's shave an hour a day off to start with, and learn to delegate a little more, and maybe even start talking about the fact that this facility is understaffed, and because I think some of the stress at her work is self-induced. Now, the commute, that's a reason enough to change for me. I'm not driving an hour to work. I drive 7 minutes to work. But you can look at that. But I think some of these things might be more in her control than we're acting like. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.